On today's wrestling news, Kevin Owens returns, sort of.
The real reason that Jesse Ventura was not at Saturday night's main event.
A Total Divas star is open to a WWE return.
And who is going to be WWE's Tribal Heir?
Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? Yes, my name is Phil Chambers. I'm joined by Gareth Morgan to talk all things wrestling news. But first up, Kevin Owens returns, kind of, not really, to training at the Performance Center a bit. So, he has been out of action since April. The 4th was the last time we saw him on WWE TV. That was on a SmackDown when he said that he has to step out of WrestleMania and out of wrestling for a long time because he needed neck surgery. At the time, it was very uncertain about what the future was. It could have been a kind of thing that could keep him out forever. It could be a thing that just keeps him out for a long time. It was guaranteed that he was going to have surgery. It was all up in the air. Now, Fightful confirmed in July that he had successful surgery, and Kevin Owens later talked about it on Cody Rhodes' podcast later down the line, saying that it was kind of the best case scenario of what those surgeries could have possibly been. He still had to have 2 vertebrae fused in his neck, but that was kind of at the lower end of what it could have potentially been. So usually that kind of a injury takes at least a year for recovery, but obviously necks are tricky. Like, some people recover at different rates, and you've got to be really, really careful with it. So it's like the actual sort of time frame of when he could come back is still up in the air, but whether that's a year from sort of when he stepped out or a year from when the surgery was, like if it's a year from when the surgery was, obviously that keeps him out of WrestleMania. But it's touch and go as to sort of when he comes back next year, basically. But we've had the kind of first sign of, like, a good sign for his potential return, at least, because he posted a clip on X, which was just a really short video of him at the Performance Center in Orlando, just kind of doing some running drills. But like I say, it's the first time we've seen him doing something like high energy, like impact driven on this kind of fused neck surgery. So this is a really good sign for his recovery and pushing forwards. And then there was also a clip of a cat at the end, so I'm not sure if that's like a special meaning or something like that.
I mean, just any shot of a cat's a good shot. You know what I mean? That
good shot.
That was my favourite bit of the whole thing. I was like, yeah, there he is. That's Kevin Owens. Just an absurd picture of a cat at the end.
Yeah, but he is back. He is running about. It's a good sign for his recovery. Obviously, we don't want him to rush anything. We want him to come back properly ready, because like neck fusion surgery is no joke. But yeah, it's just a good sign. It'd just be nice to have Kevin Owens back. He's just great. I miss him on TV.
Yeah, and it was lovely just hearing the theme song as well a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It's stuff like that where you're just like, I miss this guy. Like, he was just...
It feels like just the fact that he's putting out teasers means he feels pretty good about a comeback as well. Like, I doubt he would be doing that if it was still up in the air.
Yeah, you don't want to send people down the wrong path and then put that added pressure on yourself as well. It's one of those things, because the minute you do something like this, we do what we do here and we start talking about it and speculating and just wishing him all the best, obviously. But you get excited about it. And he's a clever guy. He's not going to put that out there, I don't think, if there's not at least some positive signs. I just wish him all the best. And like you said, the next stuff, it's so nuanced and there's so much like grey area. Like, not everyone's the same. Everyone's going to recover differently. Look at Big E. Like, he's had such a rough time with that recovery, but then now seems to be in a position where he's just happy to not wrestle, which is absolutely fine. I hope his quality of life's amazing, like, for not doing that. But there'll be other people
who things to think about when it comes to these neck issues.
Exactly, and yeah, we'll just see. We've got to take it all day by day, month by month, and I'm sure Kevin will be doing the exact same. And we just wish him all the best, because we like KO, and he was firing on all cylinders just before all this happened. So I was gutted for him, and if he ever does come back, I'm sure he'll just pick right back up where he left off, because that's what KO does. Moving into like a different realm of the WWE sphere right now, we've got Saturday night's main event, which went down, was last weekend, of course, and it did have a slightly different flavour than the ones previously, since the reboot of it. Like, it didn't feel as old school and classic, and like, it didn't have the retro vibes as much. It felt a bit more standard WWE pay-per-view / special TV show kind of vibe. Like, it was just, okay, there. And one of the big noticeable aspects of that is the fact that Jesse Ventura wasn't there, and he's been one of the main stars, you could say, of this Saturday night's main event reboot. And there's a reason for that. It's been reported pretty much in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, but they say anyway that they're under the impression that he only signed a 1-year deal for those shows, those Saturday night main event shows, and that deal would have run out with the last show that he did. Dave says that he doesn't know that factually, and in checking, the only thing that they got was that it was not a major topic of discussion, so they're not really talking about it a lot internally, but they were told that the die was cast as far as using him going forward after the whole cage match fiasco, let's say, between McIntyre and Priest, where I watched it back before we came onto here, and he just loses his cool big time because Priest just walks out the cage and he's just like, what? That's not very babyface. Pretty much. He was just like this. He called it BS. He was like, you can just walk out. He didn't even climb over the top. He just walked and he just loses his cool. Michael Cole's just a bit like, it's kind of what you could do in a cage match, Jesse. This is the way it is. And he was threatening to derail the whole thing. It was very entertaining, but you could imagine that WWE would no, you're kind of undermining everything a little bit here, Jesse. Shut up. So it seems like that might have been the last straw. I think he's been good value. He's been really entertaining whenever I've seen him on Saturday Night's Main Event. He's added something to the show. He's given it that real authority, I guess, as a show. It's made it feel like something special, just a bit different. He was then downplayed on the next show. Oh, so there was another show after that one, while he was obviously still under contract, so they didn't really mention him that much. And then on this last one, wasn't even referenced, wasn't even acknowledged. Also, and this is another thing that's notable, I think, with the latest Saturday Night's Main Event, they didn't have all the old school wrestlers in attendance, and they've done a lot of that, which has been lovely, just giving everyone the flowers. There wasn't really any of that. I don't think they had the cool barricades either, and I really like those, the steel barricades, and the smaller set. Obviously, I think the smaller set was because they'd probably just not sold as many tickets, but the barricades, the little things like that, I was like, oh, it just doesn't feel like retro Saturday Night's Main Event now, and I think it lost a bit of its sparkle, that show, because of it.
Yeah, and it feels like they've just kind of got bored of the the retro vibe, the kind of thing to it. I do wonder whether this is a WWE directive or a NBC one, potentially, of we're bored of that now, can you just make something that feels a bit more modern, a bit more current? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. They've signed a long-running deal for this as a show going forwards, so there's likely going to be some changes to it. I kind of liked the retro vibes; it just made it stand out a little bit, and having its own Jesse Ventura or whatever on commentary just made it feel like more of its own thing rather than just part of the general WWE stuff that happens every week.
It was the little stuff like the Joe Tessitore on the little stand as well in the middle of the fans, things like that. It just felt different. I was like, okay, this isn't just my weekly dose of Raw or SmackDown or anything. This is special. That's the idea.
Yeah, but let us know down in the comments below. Do you prefer the changes as it is, or would you like them to go back to retro, or do you like them to do something completely different? Let us know down below. But moving over to a Total Divas star who is apparently open to a WWE return. Now, this is Eva Marie, who was speaking on the former Sonya Deville's podcast, the Daria and Tony Unwrapped podcast. Basically talking about her time in WWE, obviously. And I've got a quote from it that I'll just read out, just saying that I always like to keep the door open because I'd be silly not to, I love performing. There's nothing like it. If you want to talk about drugs and alcohol, performing is the biggest high. And you see it too in other superstars. They just can't let it go. It's like, hey, you should retire, and you can't find that high anywhere else. The WWE Universe is the best fan base. They're crazier than ever, but they're loyal too. And so to be able to walk out into 100,000 people arena, where else are you going to get that? So yeah, Eva Marie, very open to a WWE return. She was in WWE from 2013 to 2017, and then she re-signed in 2020, and then got released in the sort of mass layoffs in the middle of the pandemic in 2021. So the last run was very short, let's say, and they didn't really do anything with it. But I personally kind of really enjoyed Eva Marie in WWE. She was an absolute heat magnet on the podcast as well. She was talking to just about the early days of her in NXT and her being just really confused about why everyone hated her so much. And then people like Bayley and Tyler Breeze going up to her saying, this is a good thing, embrace it, don't run from this. The worst thing is coming out to silence kind of thing. And then her finally kind of coming to terms with the fact that people are just going to hate her forever, which is a hard thing to come to terms with, I imagine. But I thought she was really, really entertaining. There was definitely a place for her within WWE. And like I say, some of those entrances of just coming out to pure heat was just kind of wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm misremembering a lot of that second run because in my brain, didn't she have the match with Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam? Am I
She
thinking
definitely
that
did.
right? So that
Like,
was that
some things on
post-pandemic
Main
or
Roster.
pre-pandemic?
I don't know. All of that.
It's all a bit of a blur, isn't it? It's so I think I remember that version, and that was the whole like evolution. I'm the diva in this era of non-divas, and it was like there's a place for that. There is a place for that, and that can get you heat and whatever
Chelsea
it is.
Green kind of took that as a vague idea.
Yeah.
Like she's obviously got a lot more to her character, but like that kind of diva in an era of wrestlers kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think I saw her saying something the other day about saying she was just focused on getting the basics down and just being in a position where she wasn't going to have to be like super carried in every match. And she was fine. We've seen a lot worse in between the ropes. We'll say
definitely.
that. It's
and like she was like super new when she started. Like she had not wrestled before, so it's like she came quite a long way in a short period of time. But you can't really expect her to be going out there and putting on 5-star classics when she'd only been wrestling for like 2 years.
I think protected and used in the right way, there is probably a place for her, even in this current WWE landscape. So interesting.
I still love those old entrances of like, ladies and gentlemen, Eva Marie has been delayed. It's like, that's
unbelievable. That feels like another world ago. It was like 2016. It was like fresh off the brand split again, SmackDown, wasn't it? That kind of. They were just trying stuff. And that's good. Interesting time. And more interesting times on the horizon, though, apparently, because WWE has filed a trademark on Tribal Heir. Yep. So right away, your mind goes to, okay, Tribal Heir is going to be probably bloodline like focused. Be very weird if it wasn't. That was filed on November 6th, so 2 days ago, and it is notable that Tribal Heir was actually the nickname bestowed on Solo Sikoa when he was still like pals with Roman Reigns and the rest of the bloodline. So maybe like Solo gets it again, but he has somewhat distanced himself from bloodline stuff of late, so it'd be a bit interesting if that was the case.
Yeah.
Or maybe we bring in someone else and like they become the tribal. Maybe it's for Jey Uso, he becomes the Tribal Heir because like it seems like he's been molded into mini Roman, all the rest of it on Raw of late. So interested to see if this one does go ahead and they do get it. Like who would be the Tribal Heir? Is Roman going to bring in somebody else completely out of the blue? Is there going to be another Anoa'i member just pop up out of nowhere and become the Tribal Heir?
There's plenty of them.
There's plenty. Might be one of his kids. They might be ready already and just jump straight in and just whoop some butt. Yeah, it's. Interesting. That'd be an interesting one to find out in the comments as well. Who you think could be the new Tribal Heir and what this could all mean? Yeah.
Maybe Tamatonga all this time hasn't been going yeah. He's been going because he's the Tribal Heir. That might work.
It just makes sense, Phil, doesn't it? Just makes a lot of sense. I'm going to go back and rewatch every single second of Tamatonga footage now in WWE just to double check that is what he's been doing. Yeah,
probably worthwhile.
I've got a lot of time on my hands.
Just asking questions. What can I say? But let us know in the comments, who do you want to be the Tribal Heir? I don't think it's going to be anything in the MFTs. I don't know. Maybe they put it all back together. They like to put it all back together at some point. We'll soon find out, I guess.
It's going to be like the Don Callis family of factions, that isn't it?
It kind of is, though. There's a lot of them.
Unit.
But yes, finishing videos. You can follow us over on social media. That's how you do it. You can follow me on all of them at Fill My Chambers, and you can follow this guy
on some of them on @gmorgan04 on X, and then on Instagram @GarethMorgram. And then if you're into personal fitness and training and all that good stuff, there's also an Instagram @fitness.focus.gm. And I am looking to start off some online personal training very soon in the not too distant future. So if you're interested in that, pop me a DM and we can restart or start your fitness journey together, and we can get fit on the way to the festive season, because you want to do it before like and get in the groove rather than trying to jump in with all the new me lot, because that is a tidal wave of people that you do not want to get caught up in.
There you go. Salty hates fitness, apparently. So
clearly, yeah. He's fit enough.
Not a great review.
No, not a great one. And my doggy program's way down the line, so yeah, we'll get there.
Have yourselves a bloody good day.
Bye bye.